Interlude I. The town was quite the sight to behold on a late evening drive. Hamilton Junction, its town proper, was a cluster of brightly colored buildings all along Main Street that slowly spread out from the central courthouse. Small mom-and-pop style shops, larger businesses, and homes. Beyond that was a miniature ring of burbland that was too far from an actual city to count as a suburb. Agent Mabuse, despite everything, found himself dazzled by the small-town charm that everything oozed. Agent De Silva had no love for this place. It was a Hoosier backwater, and she thought it too closely resembled one of the government's artificial science cities. She took a tour of one of them once, but just as she was starting out. She found the whole thing sickening. The Two-Headed Dog Motel was a mid-range motel that rested on the outskirts of town, heading south along the main road. The agents pulled up to it in their car, the outside reflecting the mint green light on the mirrored finish of their paint job. The sign displayed the image of a two-headed basset hound with its heads facing different directions, alternating between looking towards and away from the agents with each flash. If she weren't an agent of the federal government, De Silva would have liked to have taken a match to the building. It looked like if a roach colony had been gifted an entire building. In another life, the front desk attendant, Kenny, might have been a college student. Instead, she had the great misfortune of being born in Hamilton Junction. She stared at the agents as they entered. She saw them speak to her, but all she could hear was Heart of Glass playing over her Sony Walkman's earphones. Apathetically, she pulled them free and asked, "Sorry, can you repeat that?" "We're looking for two adjoining rooms, miss," said Agent Mabuse, trying to be civil. Kenny made a dismissive grunt. "We don't have any at the moment." "Do you have any rooms that aren't joined?" asked Agent De Silva, entering the bargaining phase of grief. "Nope," said Kenny. "Plumbing issue. On that floor, it's all completely flooded." "Are you serious?" asked Agent De Silva. "Serious as the grave and sober as a judge," said Kenny. "It's been like that for 2 weeks." "Why?" asked Agent Mabuse. "You're a friend of capitalism, right?" "Friend of mine? Friend of President Reagan?" asked Kenny. "We're the only place to stay in town, so people who stay here take what they can get." "So what can we get?" asked Agent De Silva, patience straining like a tightly pulled rubber band. "We have a single with a king-size mattress," said Kenny. "Perfect for the discerning couple." Mabuse and De Silva grimaced, thinking that she had been scripted to say that kind of thing by some manager in the event of someone asking about a room. They filled out the information they needed to stay at the motel, and Kenny passed them a key with a great big slab of black plastic that had an 11 written on the back in white. "Enjoy your stay at the Two-Headed Dog Motel," said Kenny in a sing-song voice. The two agents stalked outside to a room that the key indicated. Inside rested a pristine, king-size mattress in the center of the room, with two fluffy white robes resting on top of it. Each one was emblazoned with the logo of the motel, that damned dog that was on the sign. One of the nightstands had an ancient Bakelite radio resting on it. Its plastic was sun-cooked from the original black to a light gray. "I hate this goddamn town, Ethel," said Agent De Silva. "I think someone should take this whole place apart." "You've been nothing but negative this entire time," said Agent Mabuse. "We're in the motel now. Can you settle down?" Agent De Silva stalked inside and took a seat on the bed before collapsing onto her back. "You're right. But it's just been one shitstorm after another. Now we're left with this." Agent Mabuse nodded and entered the room, feeling around the door frame before he closed it. He went and unplugged the TV, and that's when the radio roared to life. The horrible little thing screamed Lionel Richie's Eternal Love through its speaker. The suddenness of it made Agent Maboose freak out, and he seized the box and tore it upwards, ripping out the cable that was still connected to the wall. This put a stop to the R&B singer's intrusion into their lives, silencing him forever. I mean it when I say I fucking despise this town, said Agent De Silva. Do you think that's it? Is the room clear? Near as far as I can tell, said Agent Maboose. Good, said Agent De Silva. I'm gonna hit the shower, my brain's starting to feel like a boiled potato. Don't use up all the hot water, said Agent Maboose. Agent De Silva half-heartedly nodded before snatching up the complimentary robe and vanishing into the bathroom. Following that, it wasn't long before the two agents fell asleep in the giant bed. Neither could shake the feeling that there were a billion eyes upon them, all scrutinizing and speculating about their behavior. Call it professional paranoia. Comes with the territory.